I remember one person came and they were like, I'm the breadwinner. My wife's a stay-at-home wife. I know I'm probably going to end up having to pay spousal support, blah, 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 blah. And I think she's cheating. And if we divorce, I think that I'm going to be the one with the short end of the stick.
Mercy.
So I said, well, maybe you should discuss a postnup. Because sometimes people think it's too late. Some people think you can only do a prenup before you get married. No, you can do a postnup. So when you do a postnup, you can do way more with a postnup than a prenup because these are married people entering into an agreement.
Right.
And so I told them to do a postnup and put little sections in there about adultery, how she could walk away with this or not that if she cheats.
Wow.
So now you're preparing. So if you catch her in the future, you're not coming crying to me saying, she's the one cheating, but I'm going to have to give her half my retirement and half of this and pay her spousal support. That postnup will take care of that. So it paid that small little consultation fee.
Right.
Maybe saved him hundreds of thousands of dollars that he would have lost having to give his wife in a divorce. Because remember, community property.
Right, right. So much of what you've said today seems to also be in alignment with regulating your emotions, not acting emotionally when it comes down to, like the example you just gave, the possibility of the marriage kind of going south. Instead of you exploding and saying, I want a divorce, no, this, that. Now you're putting her in a state where she's thinking, oh, let me go find a lawyer. Instead, you are regulating yourself, maintaining a frame as a man and thinking to yourself, okay, how can I approach this from a very logical perspective, even though that is tough news to hear. That's an insane story. But it paid off for him to not act emotionally and go seek out legal representation. And he saved so much money. He saved so much money. It's amazing to me that cheating clauses actually work. And that's something that blows my mind.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
All right, so I want to move on to a different conversation about how people view marriage today. A lot of people look around and they aren't so readily to jump into relationships. Despite that, there's still millions of people who value marriage today. For a couple, I want to paint a picture. A couple that's in love, heads over heels, you can't tell them nothing. They're going to marry that person. They're madly in love. What's one thing that you wish couples like that understood from a legal aspect about marriage that's usually overlooked?
Well, with me being in a community property state, getting married is a very big deal. Not only, I mean, it's a big deal everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. But the legal repercussions of potentially getting married in a community property state, I feel like most people don't really understand what that means.
Can you explain community property state?
Of course. So there's equitable division states, meaning that I'm not in one, but from what I'm understanding, it's whatever's equitable. Maybe what you put in, what the other person put in. In a community property state, everything that you acquire during the marriage, of course, there are some exceptions, but basically everything you acquire during the marriage belongs to the community. It doesn't belong to your husband. It doesn't belong to the wife. It belongs to two of you. So it's a completely different situation than being in a different state that might be an equitable division state. Like I said, there are a couple exceptions to community property, but mostly everything that you acquire during your marriage belongs to the community. So when you no longer want to be a part of this marriage and you're saying, well, this is mine, it's not. It's not yours. So I feel that a lot of people don't realize that type of legal ramifications when you no longer want to be together anymore. So people intertwine a lot of things together and they're mad in the end when they can't just take it and walk away.
It almost seems like most people learn about the legal implications of being married in the circumstance that the marriage doesn't work. Like that's when they're learning about everything.
1,000%. 1,000%. I just got out of mediation today and had to deal with the tears and all of, I just can't believe this is happening to me. And I'm like, you live in a community property state. I'm so sorry about it. These are the rules. I don't make them, but it's my job to know them so I can tell you, what you're facing, compare going to trial versus what we can do here today. Because It's not looking too good. It's
Right.
not looking too good, right? So a community property estate could be great if you're the spouse that maybe doesn't have as much. But if you're the spouse that is the responsible one, the financial one, it's a double-edged sword for sure.
Does gender, and I'm talking about specifically when being represented by an attorney, does gender play a role in the direction of that case may go? You know, being a man, I've always wondered if you want to find a woman to represent you. Or being a woman, do you want a man to represent you depending on maybe the situation?
Yes. And we have to just be honest here that there's a bias when it comes to mothers and fathers. We're not about to sit here and pretend like there isn't. A mother could be subpar and not lose her kids, and she will get custody and dad will have them on the weekend. She could just be average, and she will be the custodial parent and he will be the non-custodial parent. If he wants to take custody from her, it's like he has to be 4 times as great, squeaky clean record, and be way above average than her. Now, it happens every day. I'm in a liberal county. Dallas County's judges a lot of them are women, a lot of them are Black women, and I see fathers get custody every day. It does happen. But he can't be average like mom can be average. He has to almost be perfect. Almost be perfect. And if he has it, they'll give you your kid. But there is a bias. But I would also say, when you say picking an attorney, I think my clients not only hire me because of my practice style, but I'm sure that they might have done a little research and saw that we have 7 family judges that are district judges in Dallas County. Every last one of them are women. Every last one of them are Black except for one. And all of them are Democrats too. So when you're talking about a woman going in front of a woman going in front of a Black woman, I'm sure that they might have pieced together a lot of things that a lot of these judges, we went to the same law school. We're in the same sorority. So I know a lot of them outside of work by just nature of being Black and the positions we're in. It's a very small world, right? So I could understand a Black man being like, I want her.
Hey guys, Trisha Zed here. What you just watched was only a snippet of a larger conversation I had with expert attorney Lauren, the lawyer. You know what shocks me? I get men who reach out to me all the time who are in situations where they've entered a marriage without either asking the right questions, not even 100% sure of the fundamental values of that woman, or they didn't sign a prenup when they know that they should have. I am shocked at the amount of men who enter marriages today, despite what we talk about and see on a regular basis. They go into those marriages blindly. Is that you? Are you a man who's engaged or plan to get married very soon, and you're thinking about steps that you might want to take to protect yourself? Well, if you have a question and just want somebody who you can talk to, I want to give you an opportunity to have a conversation with me. Again, you have to be engaged, plan to get married very soon, or currently married and have other questions. Maybe I can point you in the right direction, or maybe I can give you some much needed feedback. Additionally, I also want to grant you exclusive access that's only available to members in Brew Brothers. These are men, fathers, husbands who've been married for a while. They value traditional marriages and they have access to this content. But I want to give you access to a video titled Why a Prenup Will Be the Best Decision for Your Marriage. You get access to that, and you also will get free access to have a conversation with me. Hit that link pinned to the top of the comment section and schedule your call with me. I look forward to talking to you hopefully very soon.